Good morning. Welcome to Ramblings Joe, late edition. Em got up with me this morning. She doesn't want to be on the podcast, so we had a long conversation in my first cup of coffee. When I say my first cup of coffee, I'm not drinking two of these behemoths. I'm just drinking like one, and I'm drinking too much coffee. But I like coffee. So I'm a little bit more awake this morning than I am most mornings. Yesterday, a coworker said to me, we got to talking and professionals came up, and he said, you should do a podcast on professionals. So I'm going to do a podcast on professionals. I've been thinking about it for quite a while, since yesterday afternoon when I left work. And yeah, there's definitely a place in this world for professionals. As both of you know, I am a truck driver by trade. That's how I make a living. That's how I earn my money. And yesterday, one of my customers said, are you sure you're going to be able to back into this dock? There was a bunch of equipment in the way, and I had already walked it off. I said, yeah, I got it. And he seemed very concerned. He said, are you sure you're going to be able to? I'm going to move that one truck. I said, yeah, once you move that one truck, I'll be good. So, of course, I backed in. It wasn't a problem. I didn't. In trucking, when you back into a dock and you're not lined up perfectly, what you do is something called a pull-up, which is exactly what it sounds like. You take your tractor and trailer and you pull up, get straight, and then back up. Well, when I backed in, I didn't even need to do a pull-up. I just backed into the dock and hit it. One of the problems with coffee is you want more coffee when you're drinking coffee, so I'm already thinking about my next cup. It's very good coffee. So, when I got back, I was telling Matt this story, and he said, you should do a podcast on professionals. So, because you have to trust your professionals. And I've been thinking about that all night. And I understand the guy's anxiety about me backing in. It was tight. It was a difficult back. I've got nearly 35 years experience driving a truck. Still make mistakes. Made a mistake yesterday in my car. Almost hit another truck. Fortunately, there were two people looking out for me, and I stopped in time. It was all on me. The idea that professionals are perfect isn't the idea of a professional. The idea of the professionals are getting paid to do the job they're doing to the best of their ability and better than the rest. That's the idea behind professionals. We all have a doctor, primary care physician. Well, I suppose most of us have a primary care physician. I tried two before I settled on the one that I have now, and I've had for the last, I guess I've had my doctor now I started going to him back when I was at the farm. Got to be close to 20 years. He'll probably retire, and I'll still be looking for another doctor. He's my age. So, just because someone's called a professional doesn't mean they're the professional for you. I have many people who do things in my life that are professionals. Everybody at work I consider a professional. My fellow drivers are professionals. They do not hire drivers who aren't professional. As a matter of fact, they have their own driving school for people who want to become drivers within the company. And it's my assumption, and so far it's proven out, that those drivers graduate from that school, and then there's the experience that they garner with the company. And I'm witnessing this firsthand. One of the drivers is a new driver, and they are letting him get the experience that it takes to become efficient at the job. And he's getting paid, so he's a professional. And he's a super nice guy. But eventually he's going to be a professional with experience. And that's kind of, that's the gold zone right there. My dispatcher is a professional and an awesome guy. He does his job to the best of his ability. His primary job is to service our customers. His secondary job is to try and keep the drivers hustling and happy. Maybe those are kind of tied. Maybe it's happy and hustling, but they both got to kind of go hand in hand. And he does a very good job at that. The guy I was talking to, he's the, I think he's called the outgoing manager. He is very professional as well. And I can tell when he's having a very busy day, because when I holler at him, he holler back, but he's right back to doing his job. And he's concentrating, and you can tell he's intent on getting it done. There's a lot of professionals in the world. That doesn't mean you don't discern between professionals, that you don't question professionals. So after the guy saw me back in, he said, well, I don't guess I'll ever doubt you again, because it was tight. I didn't hit anything. And luckily, I had one of those occasions where even though someone was watching me, I was able to pull it off and make it look like it was easy. Which I suppose that's one of the hallmarks of a professional, is the job they're doing looks easy while they're doing it. But then when you go to do it, it's a little bit different. I've had family members ask me to back up trailers. One of the things that people don't understand about trucking is the longer the trailer, usually the easier it is to back, because it gives you a little bit of time. There's a little bit of lag time. When you swing that wheel around, that trailer takes longer to kind of turn as you're backing. Whereas with a short trailer, a trailer that most non-truck driving people use, when you turn that wheel, that trailer just quick. It turns quick. Now, as a truck driver, you learn to use that. So if I have a short trailer and a very sharp backing spot, I can use that short trailer to get into the dock or alley or wherever I'm going. And you kind of, like with anything else, as you get more experience, you learn more. No such thing as a born trucker. There's no such thing as someone who is born good at backing a trailer. They're just not. You have to learn it. Just like shooting a pistol or a rifle. Nobody's born great at it. Some people have proclivities that are more advantageous for it, a steadier hand, but nobody's born to do it well. You learn it. It's a skill. Just like a doctor. Doctors, I've worked with doctors in my distant history. In the 80s, I was in the Navy. I was a hospital corpsman, and I worked under doctors and worked under some fantastic doctors. Almost all the doctors I worked with were flight surgeons, which they didn't cut into bodies. That's just their name, flight surgeons. They dealt with pilots in the aero industry, and they were fantastic doctors. And then there were some doctors that were absolutely horrendous, and most of us people that worked with them were like, how did he get his degree? How did he get through his internship? Why didn't this guy wash out? No names given here, but there were those doctors. And I wouldn't want to be their patient. Were they professional? Well, they were getting paid for it. Were they a professional I wanted to treat me? Nah. You got professionals throughout the world. You got professionals that you have to trust to do the job. Up to the point where you say, you're my professional, do this. You're choosing. However, once you've chose, you got to kind of trust them to do the job. If you're out there and you're going to try and somebody's getting ready to give me a ride to work. She needs a car today. If you're going to choose me to back into your dock, and you say back into that dock, and then you come out and you try and tell me how to do my job, you're not going to help me. The only thing you're going to do is stand there and waste your time, because I'm not going to listen to you. I don't know you. I don't know if your directions are right. I don't know if you understand how to give directions to a truck driver. For instance, a lot of people don't know this, but they'll get out there and they'll try and tell you which way to turn the wheel, like this. And you're like, stop. You're not doing anything for me. What a truck driver wants to see is where you want that trailer to go. So if you're standing at the back of the trailer and you're trying to get a truck driver to bring the trailer to the left, you point to the left. Don't worry about the steering wheel. That's my job. Same thing if you're standing in front of them and you want the trailer to go to the left, well, you're going to point that way. Well, for you, it would be that way. You point the way you want the trailer to go. It is not a difficult job, but a lot of people don't know it. So they go out and they try to help the driver, and the driver has to ignore them, because if the driver hits something, even if someone's helping them, it's still on the driver. And that kind of carries through all of professions. I'm not going to walk up to the outgoing manager's desk and tell him how to do his job. I don't have a clue what he's doing at that computer. I don't know what he's telling his people to do. I've never done the job. Do I think I could learn the job? Yeah, but that's not my place. My job is to deliver the goods. His job is to get the goods out of the warehouse. My doctor's job is to see about my well-being. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not going to question my doctor, because I am, and I have, and I will. I don't think that the current, I forget what they call it, something of care, standard of care? I think it's standard of care. I don't think the current standard of care is right. The food pyramid is off. I think it's way off. So, although I'm going to my doctor once a year and I'm letting him check my vitals and all that stuff and doing that, I'm not taking the food pyramid serious. I'm almost keto now, and my body is behaving better. Is it killing me in the long run? Quite possibly, but my quality of life is an issue as well. So I can't not listen to my body over my doctor. If he's gonna, I have a problem with statins. I've tried them all. They lower your blood cholesterol. Supposedly they lower your blood cholesterol. Unfortunately, they increase your blood sugar. So taking statins atrophies my muscles. It gives me so much pain that I can't function. I end up hobbling around like the age I am. And I don't want to be that way. So I did some studying, especially Em. She really helped me on that front. And we found out, yeah, the statins can really hurt you. So we made an informed decision. I didn't do research on a scientific level, but I did do research on what scientists have researched themselves. Back to the beginning, my doctor's the professional. He's going to recommend to me the things that he thinks is best to do. And I have to make the choice. So once a year, he's giving me recommendations. And for the most part, I'm taking those recommendations. But also, it's my life. And I want to live it to the best of my ability. But I let him do his job. He has a lot of training, and he has a lot of experience. Anybody our age does. So I let him do his job, and then I make informed decisions. It's just like a painter. A painter comes into your house. He knows how to paint. He can make your house look great. He ain't going to choose the color for you. That's on you. You choose the color. He'll make it look smooth, but you have to choose the color. So if you choose lavender for, I don't know, your kitchen, that might look okay in the kitchen. For your garage, that might not look so great when you're out there turning tools. Or maybe you like lavender and it looks great. That's a matter of opinion. Anyway, when you choose a professional and you've set the parameters for what you want that professional to do, you pretty much should stand back and let them do it. That doesn't mean you don't watch. I mean, I completely understood that guy watching me bag that trailer in because it was tight out there, but he was watching to make sure I didn't hit any of that equipment. He didn't have keys for it, so he couldn't move it. I didn't hit the equipment. He was happy. I was happy. We got the job done. But he did not come out there and try and coach me to do a job I don't know, that he doesn't know how to do. Yeah, professionals, we need them. There's no doubt. I've had some surgeries, and we chose my doctors to do those surgeries. And when they did those surgeries, I didn't choose someone else to watch over them. Literally at that point, I had to say, my life is in your hands. I had to say that to the anesthesiologist as well, who I didn't meet until the day of the surgery. However, I trusted the surgeon, the doctor, the urologist, enough to take his advice. And sometimes that's the best that we can do. So, we need professionals. Respect the professionals. It's important. It's very important. In some industries, you can't do without. I suppose that's all I got this morning. I hope that covered what you wanted me to cover today there, bud. I hope you have a fantastic Friday and a fantastic weekend. Evidently, I'm going to be a handyman this weekend. Yeah, it's another adventure in life. Something to do. Let's see if I survive it. I hope that you survive the weekend. I hope you have a fantastic one. I hope you find peace, love, and dream. Until next time, L'chaim.